All right, hey, how y'all doing? We are back for another review for How to Get Away with Murder. We are on the season finale, or I guess based on what we learned at the end of the episode, we learned that this is kind of like the mid-season finale. Um, anyway, of the final season. So let's just jump right into it because there's a lot to cover and a lot of shit way down. Okay. All right. So, we with the show we do a lot of jumping back and forth, so we're kind of at the end, but it's at the beginning. Got it? Good. All right. So, everybody's coming back to the house, so they have on their graduation robes, and they are getting high, and they're trying to numb whatever just happened. We're not sure what that is just yet. And then Laurel FaceTimes Michaela, and everybody's like, "Well, hey, am I still high, or is this really Laurel FaceTime Michaela?" So, she was like, "I didn't have anything to do with it." And then it cuts out. All right, then we get to rewind all the way back to see how we got up to this moment in time. Everybody's in class, and Annalise tells them that, hey, you passed the final exam. Yay, whoop, whoop, whoop. Then she gives them this compelling speech about going out into the world and being great and second chances and all this other stuff. Kind of like, this is going to be her final time seeing everybody. So, that prefaces what we saw last episode with her, we're assuming, fleeing the country and getting on about her business. We also see Oliver, and he's back at the house after Annalise told everybody that they passed the class. He has a gift for everybody, and his gift to everybody is shrooms. Shrooms are mushrooms, which are hallucinogenic and do your own research, blah, blah, blah. So he gives them, as a graduation gift, mushrooms, and they're just going to get high and numb everything that's happened over the last 4 years and just get through graduation day. So yeah, they're going to start doing that. Bonnie and Nate aren't responding to anybody. Nate's been missing for a week, and then he shows back up in this episode. We're back at the house, and everybody is tripping on shrooms at this point and having a good old time, just not really worrying about everything that's kind of coming down on them in this season. So yeah. So Tegan is briefing Annalise because earlier in the season, the news came on TV and basically saying, they believed the FBI believed that Wes did kill Sam, but he didn't do it alone. So Tegan is briefing Annalise on this, on that information, because I don't think Annalise saw that part in the news, and Tegan let her know, like, hey, I'm going to comfort him. I'm not going to let anything happen to you. Blah, blah, blah. We'll do. So move on to Bonnie's house, and Nate is still trying to convince Bonnie that Nate is still trying to reason with Bonnie and still trying to let them know, like, hey, they're not for you. And all she really wants for Nate to do, Frank. Frank is trying to reason with Bonnie and, still profess his love and whatnot. And she's still mad about everything that went down with Miller last episode. So she tells him, hey, the only thing I want you to do is look out for Gabriel. Keep your eye on Gabriel. There's something real suspicious about that cat. So that's what he's going to be doing at this point. After Annalise has learned this information from Tegan, she runs home and she grabs her burner phone. She's about to get this process started. She's about to disappear. Ain't gonna be no more Annalise at this point. However, before she's able to do it, somebody knocks on the door and she grabs the Thule out. She grabs her gun out the safe. She's like, listen, I'm tired. Like, I'm ready for all this to be over. But it just happens to be Nate, and he's coming over there to talk to her, so she opens the door. We jump back over at the house, and everybody's at the house, and they tripping on the mushrooms. And Michaela has this bad idea, like, hey, if we're gonna go to jail, if we're gonna go to prison, if we're gonna die, whatever's gonna happen from this point, at least we're gonna party until we're gonna get through graduation, and we're gonna party. So they go out and they're gonna party on mushrooms all night. I guess they're gonna go out with the bang, the way they want to go out. So Gabriel comes home and Frank is there, and Frank's questioning him, like, hey, are you the informant? Blah blah blah. Whoop de whoop. And then Gabriel he keeps holding up to this notion, like, I just want to know what happens to Sam. And Frank realizes, hey, this dude is recording him while they're talking. So he kind of smacks fun out of his hand. He's choking him. He's saying, I didn't kill Sam, but I've always hated the guy. So maybe killing his son is the next best thing. So he's really upset about it, and he's about to choke the shit out of Gabriel. Simultaneously, Nate is at Annalise's house, and he's mad the way about everything went down, and he hates her at this point. And she reminds him, like, hey, just remember that I'm the only person out of this whole crew that has no blood on my hands. I have not killed anybody. I have not disposed of any bodies. Like, I'm the only truly innocent person. However, the way that things are going to work out this case, she's going to go down along with the ship. So, Nate can't stand that fact, and he's basically so upset where like he's about to put hands on, like he's about to choke the shit out of her. And she grabs like the little fire poker thing, and she tries to hold it up as not to. She grabs the poker thing so that he doesn't attack her, and he snatches it away, and he lets her know, like, hey, when you go down, I hope I'm here to see you go down. So Nate and Emily's thing is officially done at this stage of the game, and they ain't lovers, they ain't friends, they ain't nothing no more at this point. So I'm starting to believe that there's more than one confidential informant, because Gabriel was recording Frank's conversation. Nate disappeared for a week. I don't know. There's a lot of weirdness happening. So yeah. So we're back from the break, and Nate is trying to get Bonnie to hate Annalise as much as he does for whatever reason. And he lets her know, like, hey, you don't really need them. You have me, blah, blah, blah. So I don't know if Nate is like low-key falling in love with Bonnie, which is gross and weird, but yeah. And he lets her know that she doesn't need them, and she lets her know, like, hey, no, I actually, kind of do need them, and you're the only one that's actually completely alone in this whole situation, which has probably been one of the motivating factors for driving Nate to, become obsessed with the whole Miller thing and the Tegan situation and trying to find out what happened to his dad, because he doesn't have anybody. His only love interest was Annalise, and his only personal interest was his dad. Well, him and Annalise are no longer involved, and his dad is deceased at this point, so she's right. He doesn't have anybody. He's just out here at this point. So, Bonnie's just like, nah, bro, we good. I'm gonna stick with whoever I ride with thus far. So, we jump back to Laurel FaceTiming Michaela, and Laurel claims that she wasn't a confidential informant, but that, everybody's at stake. Don't know how she knows all this, but she lets us know that it was not Annalise that helped her to escape. Her and Christopher, it was Tegan. So Tegan was the one that helped her escape. So I'm sitting here thinking to myself, how does Tegan relate to Laurel? Well, Xavier helped Tegan out some sort of way, which is how he ended up giving her that large sum of money and that portion in that company that Nate found, back in his investigation early in the season. So maybe, I'm guessing, maybe Tegan helped Laura to escape in order to avoid, the whole downfall as some sort of repayment to Xavier, because Xavier and Tegan were already, connected earlier years ago. So maybe as some type of repayment to Xavier, she helped Laurel. But the thing is, how do you know that everybody's about to go down, so much so that you helped Laura and Christopher escape, to some sort of safe haven? Are you also an informant, or are you the informant? Something to think about. So, the phone hangs up, and, she apologizes, but the connection's lost, so now she's gone. So while everybody is sitting around, kind of thinking about, what Laurel said, they say, side note, I have no personal experience. When they say when you're on shrooms, you become more conscious, you become more aware of your surroundings, and, everything is kind of hyper-focused or whatnot. So with that in mind, everybody's kind of high on shrooms. Shrooms is hitting everybody one at a time. But Michaela realizes, hey, Asher, you're asking a lot of direct questions. And also, I've noticed that everybody has been affected by the mushrooms, but you ain't high. What's going on? She realizes that Asher either is not affected by the mushrooms or he never took them. He never took the mushrooms. He's not high. And then she starts putting everything together over the last few weeks, saying, hey, and you offered to marry me because of the marital privilege. You can't testify against your spouse. So you offered to marry me because you don't want me to go down with everybody else. How do you know that everybody's going down? Are you the informant? And Asher finally admits that, yes, he is the mole. I don't think I ever said it on camera, but I knew it was something wrong with Asher, because he was very me the whole season. He was upset that everybody had a partner, had a significant other. He felt like nobody wanted to be around him, that he wasn't important in any of these scenarios. So it was weird. He was always in the background of everything. But he may say he's the mole, but he lets them know like, hey, I'm the mole, but I've only been giving them just enough. I've been only giving them what they know. He also lets them know that he'd been secretly recording their conversations, but only just enough to give to the investigators to say he's participating, but to not give them substantial evidence. Which, I mean, that's a smart move, but why be the mole in the first place? Like, I mean, let them do their jobs. If they're gonna take us down, they're just gonna take us down. But I guess, he's saying that, he just wanted to save himself at that point and do what he had to do. And as he is speaking, he is hitting the head with something. I didn't see it at that moment, and he goes down like Frazier. Asher is out of here. He is knocked out. All right, so we're back from the commercial break, and it turns out that Oliver was the one that cracked him over the head. Oliver knocked Asher across the head with a fire poker. Side note, why is a fire poker the weapon of choice this season? Like, Annalise picked up the fire poker to defend herself from Nate. There's been a lot of fire pokers this season. Just something I noticed. I don't know. But yeah, Oliver knocked Asher over the head. And he gets up and, he's bleeding and it looks like he's going to need stitches, but he wants to state his claim before, whatever happens. He lets him know that he had to choose his mom and his sister over them because if you can recall, a couple episodes ago, his sister came saying his mom was having a depressive episode. She might kill herself, blah, 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 whoop, whoop. Well, it was a setup. So while his mom was telling him that he needed to atone for his sins in order to get to heaven, blah, 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 don't nobody care, he gets up and he storms out of the room. Well, he storms out of that room, he goes into the other room, which looks like the foyer or something, and there's two detectives standing there. And they're telling him, hey, basically the ship's about to go down. We know more than enough information. Do you want to save yourself? So he was the link that needed to be broken to get information on everybody else. And unfortunately, they held that over the guise of your mom helped your dad embezzle or do some misappropriating of money when he was alive so we could take her to jail. So in order to not take her to jail, we need you to give up Annalise and everybody else. So, I mean, I guess he didn't really have a choice, but he had a choice. So he chose his family over his friends, basically. So yeah. I lost my place in my notes, but so yeah, basically when he's talking, he's back at the house and he's telling Michaela's like, yeah, that's why you kissed me. That's why you try to get me to talk. And he was trying to save himself, save his family, and save Michaela. Everybody else he didn't give a fuck about. Because he did kiss Michaela. When he kissed Michaela a couple episodes ago, it was because she was about to admit something while he was recording, and he wanted to kind of absolve her from involvement, but he still wanted to get information to give to the investigators. So, I mean, admirable that you're trying to save the little black girl, but not because you're giving up everybody else. Like, you didn't give. Must we forget that you've killed somebody as well, Asher? So, what the fuck, dude? Like, you a killer too. So don't be trying to tell nobody that you're a killer, but do what you gotta do, I guess. Huh? We are back from the last break, and this is the part where we're kind of putting a nice little bow on everything. So Annalise is calling her mom. So it seems like Annalise did have a trip, because the whole episode she's been saying, people have noticed her packing bags and stuff. She's saying she had a trip planned to go see her mom. So she calls her mom, leaves a voicemail, and tells her mom, she's not going to be able to make it. She's not a bad daughter. She just has some things she needs to handle. And, along the way, she's burning evidence and she's packing. Now, that could be one of two things. She actually did have a trip planned to go see her mom, but everything happened. So she decided, hey, plan B, I got to get a new identity. I got to get the fuck out. Or you remember her mom kind of has dementia and she doesn't remember things. So maybe she's leaving the voicemail to put into her mom's head, like, hey, I was coming there in order to create an alibi when the investigators do come down and they start looking for her. They'll start at her mom's house, and her mom will have in her mind, hey, she was supposed to come here, but she canceled, which may or may not have never been true. But when you have dementia, kind of what people tell you can become your truth. So that would be a smart move. Anyway, we move on, and Michaela lets them know. Asher tells him, like, hey, if y'all come tell the investigators my story, this is your only way out. You know, we don't all have to go down with Annalise. Like, screw her, I'm done with her anyway. And Michaela's lets them know, like, hey, I'm not making this decision while I'm on mushrooms. I'm going to wait till, you know, things come back down. We have about 2 hours until it's time to line up for graduation. So in the meantime, whatever happens, happens, but I'm walking. Like, this is all I've ever wanted to do, all I ever wanted to be. So I'm walking. So, yeah, that's that's Michaela's plan. Nobody else seems to be on board, but that is her plan. So Connor and Michaela on the front porch kind of talking about the situation, and she lets him know, like, I'm still walking. Oliver's inside taking care of Asher's wounds, kind of cleaning him up, and he walks away to get a fresh towel and comes back, and Asher has disappeared out the back door. He's out of there, nowhere to be found. And, you know, everybody comes back to the house and they realize, like, this motherfucker is out. So, you know, now it's panic mode and what has happened. And we see Asher, he shows up at Bonnie's house and he has the blood on him, which, you know, Bonnie thinks is someone else's, but it's his blood from getting hit in the head. All right, and then we flash over to Frank. Frank is, where was Frank? I don't remember. But he gets a call from Bonnie, and Bonnie says, you know, I need you to come over here ASAP. So we'll see what happens with that. Somebody knocks on Gabriel's door, and he obviously knows who it is because he, you know, kind of has a smile on his face. Hey, I've been waiting on you. Come on in, blah, blah, blah. But they don't show us who that person is. Now, the next part of my notes will tell me, well, you know, will kind of tell you who I think it is, blah, blah, blah. But Gabriel opens the door, right? And he has a smile on his face, and it's somebody that's familiar. Maybe it's Wes. Oh, the kid. Okay, maybe it's Wes. I think it's Wes. And I say that because at the end of the episode, Wes shows up at Annalise's funeral. This is too much. It's too much. All right, so anyway, somebody knocks on Gabriel's door who I believe to be Wes. All right, so Annalise is trashing the house, kind of making it look ransacked. I guess she's going to create the image when people, you know, come looking for her that, you know, a struggle happened, something happened, and she got kidnapped. Whatever the scene she's setting. She gets her stuff, she gets in the car, but then as she's driving away, she tells the driver to stop, which makes me presume, like, hey, okay, I don't want to leave these kids like this because I'm the reason they're in these situations. But then in the next scene, it cuts to her in a little 6-passenger airplane with a whole lot of turbulence, which lets me know, okay, I stopped the car, but then I came back to my senses, and now I really am, like, getting the fuck out of Dodge. Like, that was weird because then she stopped the car, there was no conversation, and then it cut to another scene, then it cut back to that scene, and then she's in this little 6-passenger airplane, and he's calling her by some different last name. It's not Keating, was it Ross or something? It wasn't Keaton. He was calling her by her new identity. So I guess she still went through with the plan, but she still ends up dead. So still confused. But while the kids are sitting there, they're about to get ready to go line up for graduation. They're trying to spruce up as much as possible. And there's a knock on the door. And they're assuming it's another one of their friends that's going to ask where Asher is, and they don't have an answer. When they open the doors, the cops, and the cops put Michaela and Connor under arrest. And not only are they under arrest, they're under arrest for murder. Whose murder? Asher. Why? Because at some point between him getting to Bonnie's house and getting dead, somebody busted him upside the head with a fire poker. Fire poker again. Somebody knocked him upside the head with a fire poker, but they ain't just knocked him this one time like Oliver. They kept hitting him and hitting him and hitting him and hitting him. And now he is gurgling for life, and we're to presume that Asher is officially dead. So Michaela and Connor are under arrest for his murder. Don't know why Oliver isn't under arrest, because you're the one that popped him in the head to start with, but we'll figure that out. But they're under arrest for murder. And then the final scene of the season finale, which it isn't the season finale, we learn at the end, is Wes. I thought it was Gabriel at first, like from the side profile, I thought it was Gabriel, but it's actually Wes. So Wes has been faking his death all this time, holding on to this whatever he's holding on to. He walks in there. I will tell you, Wes walked in looking like new money, looking real blessed, looking real, I haven't had to murder nobody. I haven't had no problems in my life since I've been dead. But but Wes shows up at Annalise's funeral. So we'll see what happens. So according to the the final credits, we have 6 episodes left, and it's going to be returned on April 2nd. I thought this was the season finale. That's the way it was, portrayed to me this whole season. But I'm glad we got 6 more episodes, because if that was the finale, I would have been upset. So we have a lot of things to sew up. Who killed Asher? Why is Wes back? Is Annalise really dead? If she is, who killed her? Is Bonnie going to get with Nate? Or is she going to get with Frank? Where is Laurel and Connor? Excuse me, I got the hiccups. Where's Laurel and Connor? There's a lot of questions that still need to be answered, and y'all got about 6 episodes to get it done. April is a long time from now, but it's already programmed into my calendar, so I will be back on April 2nd for the last 6 episodes in the final season of How to Get Away with Murder. So I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.